What is a science fact that not many people know that will change the way they look at life? Elephants are known to bury their dead under foliage and remain with the bodies for some time afterwards, exhibiting behavior not dissimilar to human mourning. Indeed, it is the association of apparent grief or mourning that is considered to indicate a burial, as opposed to simply covering up or disposing of a body. I also read somewhere that they have buried humans. Elephants have also been witnessed returning to these burial sites year after year to stroke and caress the bones of their loved ones in what appears to be a memorial ritual. They are so emotionally intelligent. Love elephants. Elephants are known to communicate using infrasound transmitted through the ground. One time, scientists played back the infrasound of an elephant that had previously died. It caused the whole herd to freak the fuck out. They were distressed as hell. The scientist made a note to never do it again. On top of that, elephants have standard routes they travel, and if they pass the point where the elephant died a year or so later, they will stop and start making those grief sounds again. Edit, just seen it already mentioned. I grew up on a farm with cattle, and whenever a bull passed away they would all circle around like a burial. Really trippy. You could tell why the Hindus put so much respect into these beings. Elephant facts are the tits. I will never stop being amazed by them. I also heard that the section of their brains that process emotion is more complex than ours. So basically they feel even more grief and sadness when a fellow elephant dies, than even us. Don't take my word for it though, research it. Edit, another fact. Elephants will return to their family members' graves to pay respect. Every year or so they touch the dead elephant's bones, and hold them. I believe they actually have feelings of love and empathy. Most people know that the mosquito is the deadliest animal when it comes to total human deaths ever. Next to humans, of course. And this is due to the malaria parasite spread by mosquitoes. It is estimated that 4 to 5% of all humans that have ever lived died from malaria, rather than half as some sources state. The treatment for malaria is quinine, which was known since the 1700s. This is often contained in tonic water, which is bitter and not that palatable. The anecdotal story is that during the days of British colonization of India, the British East India Company had of course problems with malaria. Drinking tonic water was not popular with the British, so what did they do? Add booze, i.e. gin. And this is where you get gin and tonic. Water does not innately conduct electricity, it is all the dissolved stuff that allow electricity to pass through it. Water is fascinating stuff. Then why are electric attacks super effective against water types? Not a single tarantula species is able to kill you with venom, so if you see a big hairy boi, just know, it can't kill you, not yet. What if that tarantula has a knife? Tarantulas have oversized fangs. When they bite a human, which is incredibly rare, they take a chunk of flesh out at the site of the bite. You won't die from the venom, but you might die from the wound if you get infected without treatment. In the days before antibiotics, tarantula bites were deadly, because of sepsis, not venom. And, no, neither the venom nor the infected wound makes you dance. Just be sure it is not one of these hairy girls. Handling Sydney Funnel Veeb. Earthquakes can happen literally everywhere on Earth, however humans rarely feel anything below a 2.5 in magnitude. At what point is it actually considered an earthquake though? End number X200b, if I jumped you would not say I caused a magnitude 10/40 earthquake, would you? That the human skin is quite heavy, it is around 16% of your body weight. Not true for people on Reddit. Their skin can't be more than 1% of their body weight with how thin it is. The Amazon rainforest isn't actually the lungs of Earth. Almost all the oxygen generated by the Amazon is used by the life found in the Amazon. 40% of Earth's oxygen is actually produced by tiny organisms called diatoms. These organisms can replicate at an incredible rate, and trillions of them spread throughout the oceans and create oxygen through photosynthesis. When the diatoms die, they transform into underwater snowflakes that remain on the sea floor. When these seas dry up, the dead diatoms create a salt desert, like the one in northern Africa. Huge sandstorms pick the diatoms up and carry them across the oceans and drop them down on the Amazon, and are used as a fertilizer for the rainforest. Where are diatoms born? The rainforest. They spread to the sea, create oxygen through photosynthesis, die, create salt deserts, get taken back to the rainforest and help create the rainforest that creates them. That's the circle of life right there. The rainforest outsourced oxygen production. The Amazon rainforest isn't actually the lungs of Earth. Where are diatoms born? The rainforest. Well, so it is actually the lungs of Earth or not? I mean, it is a chicken and the egg problem right there. Diatoms are found in every body of water. They aren't born in the rainforest and spread across the Earth. They have extremely short life cycles. They only live for like 6 days. Most of the other things you said were true. But that is just a blatant lie. Where are diatoms born? The rainforest? No. Diatoms exist in damn near every body of water and certainly do not originate exclusively from the Amazon. On average, Mercury is the nearest planet to every planet in our solar system. But the nearest celestial body on average is the Sun, right? If yes, I think I get it. Thank you, CGP Grey. Makes sense, if you think about it. Imagine 2 planets at their most distant. The farther they are from the Sun, the less the relative size of their orbits. So the further out they are, the more time they spend so that the distance between them is more or less 2 times their aphelion. But if there's a planet really close to the Sun, then the distance between that far-out planet and that close-up planet is usually closer to _1 aphelion of the far-out planet in the pair. And the largest the difference in orbit sizes, the more pronounced that effect is. Kinda makes you think about interplanetary travel and economics/logistics in any sci-fi edit, but also, the effect in our solar system, and probably most systems, is small. Planets usually come in a small range of orbit sizes for any given star. Everyone on Earth is at least 50th cousin with everyone else on Earth. And if you are currently dating or married to somebody who is from your own country and is of your own ethnicity, there's a 1 in 5 chance that the two of you share a common family member fewer than 10 generations ago. Happy incesting. You could have kept this knowledge to yourself. Why did you share it, my 50th cousin? Now I have to live with the fact that I slept with my girlfriend, our 50th cousin. From what I understand, at the 5th level any relation becomes near irrelevant. Edit, I put 3rd instead of 5th. R/Iceland keeping very quiet here. Sweet home Alabama Earth. If you're from the UK, I think that chance goes way up. Don't read that again. I repeat. Don't read that again. Are you saying my ancestors are also my ancestors? Can confirm after genealogical investigation. My grandparents who lived in the same village of about 5,000 people turn out to be related in at least 5 different ways in 10 generations' time. Without knowing, of course. When you do the math, it adds up. Everyone has 2 parents. Each generation doubles the number of ancestors. So, 20 generations, somewhere between 800 and 1,000 years that is, add up to 2 superscript 2 individuals. That's an awful lot of people, and many times more than the estimated number of people in the Middle Ages in Western Europe. It is actually estimated that more than 50% of Europeans and Americans of European descent can claim a relationship with Charlemagne, who died in 843. What annoys the fuck out of you? When I click an ad because the page load jumped. I haven't have a big reaction to most of this thread, but oh my god do I hate this one. Thankfully starting in May Google will penalize websites for doing that and it will affect their page ranking. Oh my god, this especially when we're doing some random online testing and you get answers wrong because of it. When you're laying in bed about to sleep, then remember you forgot to do something. Or you're about to drift off and your nose itches. Fully awake again. You remember you forgot to do something but you don't remember what something. People who know absolutely nothing about a subject and are convinced they're experts. Dunning-Kruger effect, or illusory superiority. Too fucking dumb to understand that you're dumb. It happens so often they gave it a name. I'm terrified that I run into it so often. On the positive, even if I'm familiar with a subject I try to introduce it as I've read, or my impression is, rather than stating something as fact. Serious pet peeve. So, Reddit. All of Reddit. I was told my 401k would not still be there when I retired. I had to explain to this person the difference between a retirement account and Social Security. They didn't understand it but held firm. When I'm walking and my socks get all bunched up under my feet. Yes. And wrinkled sheets. That's why I stopped wearing no-shows. People who ask for my opinion and then get mad when I share it. That's not someone interested in your opinion, that's just someone using you as a soundboard to agree with. They probably don't want your opinion, they just want validation. Oh, a related one, people who ask for an explanation for a mistake you have made, then interrupt you to complain that they don't want to hear any excuses. When that one bit of food is stuck between my teeth, and I can feel it with my tongue, but I can't see it or pull it out with my finger. Or when a popcorn seed skin gets stuck behind your tongue. People who get off escalators and abruptly stop and stand there so you nearly bump into them. Also people who block the sidewalk by walking slowly next to each other so you try to squeeze through on either side but there's just not enough space to pass without bumping into them so you have to actually say excuse me but they're talking with each other so you have to say it louder until you practically yell which makes you seem unnecessary rude. A while back the wife and I were leaving Walmart, there was an older couple in front of us with 2 full carts. They stopped side by side right in the middle of the second set of doors to rifle through all of their bags. Blocking people coming in, blocking people going out. After 3 polite excuse us attempts went unheard one the lady did hear me, looked at me, and kept looking through her things I go please get the fuck out of the way. So they did, scoffed and the guy had the nerve to tell me maybe if you lost some weight you could get by. So, the escalator, Oracle Park is a beautiful baseball stadium in San Francisco, but it has a few flaws. One of them is that there is an escalator from the ground level to the first level, then from the first level to the club level. Unfortunately they are lined up. Before the game, it is not an issue since most people arrive at random times and it does not get packed but after the game. When the park first opened, they left the escalators unmanned. When the people exiting from the club level, they would run into the people trying to get on at the first level. People would have to start walking backward on the escalator because there was no other place to go. They ended up system where it is 5 minutes for the first level and 5 minutes for the club level system. I've seen people who have stopped to have a chat, all 4 of them, right at the bottom of the escalator. Everyone was literally walking through them and these people did not seem to even notice, let alone care. The lack of awareness in some people is frankly concerning. Holy fuck, this is what makes me boil. That perfect thin line of dirt that always remains after sweeping into the dustpan. Wet paper towel for the win when this happens. That's called frust. The number of times you have to sweep until you give up is its frustrating. Just lick it up. Or the second or third line that you get from trying to clean the first one. Muffled bass. In the neighbor's apartment I'm sure the bass slaps, but through the wall it is just loud enough to hear. I can hear it just over whatever I'm listening to with my headphones. Just turn it down like 2 ticks. This is one of my biggest misphonia triggers. Since I was 12 and I'm 30. Instant trigger, and it's a coin toss if I'm going to cry from despair at not being able to stop it or be so angry I cry. One time, we lived in an apartment where the people directly below my room had a home theater and the bass was always shaking the room. I didn't know what misphonia was at the time, but it was the 10th time I went to my dad crying and uncontrollably angry. So my dad took his snare drum off the stand, laid it on the floor, and wailed on it for 5 to 8 minutes. To this day, it's one of the sweetest things he's done for me. Oh yeah, I used to live in an old house with windows that would rattle along with the constant dull whumps and riffs of bass from the upstairs neighbors. To this day that sound reawakens the rage. Slow walkers on busy streets, and people that walk down the sidewalk 5 abreast like they're in the opening montage of a fucking sitcom. Also when they are in a group and make a line and decide to hold hands. God, that walking side by side thing pisses me off so much. A few years back I was taking classes at a local community college part-time and there's this big ass ramp that leads into the front of the main building. This thing is literally like 20 or so feet wide and here comes a group of guys walking like 10 abreast blocking the whole ramp. I don't even know how a group of people is raised that ignorant. Somebody demanding my attention when I'm busy. Don't have kids. People that block the aisle in the grocery store, they generally block one side with their cart and the other with themselves, staring blankly at the products like they were alien artifacts found on the moons of Jupiter. Bonus annoyance when they acknowledge your presence even after an excuse me and continue standing there like a donkey. Super bonus if they've angled their cart awkwardly at an intersection and now block 2 aisles. Honestly, just people in grocery stores in general, not sure if the etiquette differs in other countries, but ours is basically every man for himself. Especially if you are concerned with social distancing and the 6 feet rule and let people pass in front of you because of this, you will be spending half your day at the store. Asshats on the highway that fly past me doing 90 to 100, get in front of me and then slow down abruptly to like 50, and it is not people in shifty cars trying for insurance money. It is people in really nice cars thinking they own the road, and it happens every single night on my way to work. I love when they do this and we end up next to each other at a red light. Good going, jackass. Yeah, my mom was driving home from church and we accidentally pulled up to street race. Not using your turn signal. You wanna know why this pisses me off, too? Because it's right the frick there. Like you are so lazy and selfish that you can't just press down or up so that you tell everyone else what you are doing. Even worse, not turning your blinker off. People who sit in the left lane who cruise slower than traffic. Or even worse, who match speed with someone in the right lane, creating a traffic wall. The OL rolling road block. A classic. The ones who speed up at the passing areas, then right back down once the passing area is over. Don't even get me started on roundabouts. Those are the worst. I live in California and every highway has people who cruise in the left going 60 miles per hour. It doesn't matter if the highway has 8 lanes on each side, there will be that one asshole going 60 in the left. My dad does this all the time. He just kind of picks a lane at random. I remind him about it when I am in the car, but he doesn't get why it is bad to be in the left lane if you are going almost the speed limit. Looking at you, Pennsylvania. And rubbernecking. People who leave their grocery carts randomly in parking lots. It drives me insane. There's a radio show called Woody Show, and 2 guys do a bit called Cart Narcs where they walk up and confront people who are too lazy to push the carts to the cart corrals. When you search and search for an empty parking space, and when you finally find one, there's a shopping cart in the middle of it. There was a theory that was trending for a while about this. It is a testament to someone's integrity and ability to self-govern. People who chew with their mouth open. Yeah, my dad eats like this, and I can hear it even when I'm a few meters away. It makes me want to tear my ears off. That's why I rarely join him at the dining table. My brother brought me to literal tears out of sheer anger and frustration once when he chewed cereal with his mouth open as we were getting ready for school, LOL. I remember some days in high school where I'd stay home sick with only a stuffy nose because I didn't want people to see me eat with my mouth open during lunchtime. Just stupid high school things.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.